If you started seeing fusion models pop up on social media and you're wondering whether they are actually worth it or just more AI hype, this video is for you. I've been building multi-model AI workflows for months, and Fusion is one of the cleanest versions of this idea that I've seen. Instead of just trusting one model, you've got several different models cross-checking each other. And it can come in cheaper than reaching for a new frontier model like Fable or Mythos, while having better answers and fewer hallucinations. But there is a catch in how Fusion is priced that almost nobody is talking about. And if you don't know it going in, it can quietly cost you a lot more than you think. And I'll show you exactly where that lands. This was just released in OpenRouter, so you got a real window to be one of the first people to actually start using this instead of playing catch up, which we all know tends to happen with a bunch of the AI releases. So let's jump right into the video and learn more about Fusion models. So what I want to do is go through this article that OpenRouter released recently. And after we go through the article, we'll just walk through this NAN workflow, as well as some of these other workflows down below if you're a Power NAN user. This kind of just visually explains what is going on in this article. And yeah, we can even just talk about this here shortly. Their chat, which essentially has a quality budget and custom version of Model Fusion. So going back over here, I'm not just going to read segments of this because I think it's actually really important to highlight the nuances. So it says we found synthesizing the results of multiple models can significantly outperform what individual models are capable of. Introducing Fusion, a tool for getting these combined results just as easily as calling a single model. This is a great selling point right over here because I've been building out workflows that, in at least in NAN, they use multiple models and different types of models to get better results. But now we can singleize this in one particular call instead of multiple calls across the board. And you can see it allows you to choose a panel of participant models alongside a judge model responsible for fusing the individual results together. Judge models are a pretty interesting concept. It's another way to reduce hallucinations. You have results in an agent beforehand, and then you review those results and tweak them as they go. If you have something that hallucinations really matter and you do not want fake data or fake things like that, I would highly recommend you start adding in judge models to your workflows or whatever else you're using with AI agents. Anyways, to get a little bit more stuff, it says to understand benefits Fusion, we use a deep research benchmark that tests a combination of reasoning, tool usage, and knowledge. It found three things. So panels consistently outperform individual models. Beyond frontier performance can be achieved with frontier panels, which this is kind of blocked right now with the whole ordeal with Mythos and Fable, but we'll ignore that here for a second. And the panels of budget models can surpass a frontier model and get close to frontier panel performance. That is really interesting. So it says try Fusion now in a chat room. So this chat room over here is really cool because they actually have three different approaches. If you want the best of the best, which again, we're blocked right now with Fable and Mythos. So they use Opus, they use OpenAI GPT latest and Gemini Pro latest, three of the best models out there across the board. And you can see we're going to compare those with the judge agent. Then you have over here this budget. You also have the fuse width. You can change this out. So very cheap models like Gemini Flash, DeepSeek V4, and then Moonshot, which I haven't used Moonshot before, but I have used DeepSeek and Gemini. And you have a custom, so you can just add in your particular models. Also to mention, you are not stuck with these three. You can add in more models as you want. So let's imagine I add Claude Fable 5. I know this is blocked right now, but you can see we have another one over here. And I believe API, you can go up to 8, and here maybe you're blocked to 3 in particular. This is what I found interesting though. You can see we have Fable 5 plus GPT 5.5. In this benchmark, it scored a 69%, whereas Fable 5 alone scored a 65.3. This is a DRACO score. So you can read a little bit more about this DRACO benchmark over here if you would like to. I'm not going to waste your guys' time. I'm just going to show you visually what's going on. So you can see Fable, GPT-5 together, they outperform Fable by itself. Opus 4.8 with Opus 4.8. So you can essentially use Fusion with the same model as well. I scored a 65.5, so very similar to Fable 5. But you really get a better performance improvement when you go to the two different providers. Think about it, they have different training data sets for these particular models, so it makes sense to change them up. You have Opus 4.8 and GPT 5.5. This one over here scored a 67.6, so a 2% improvement, which is pretty high. And then you can see in this example, use 3, Opus 4.8, GPT-5, and Gemini 3.1 Pro, which was that example I showed you. I scored 68.3. Also, side note, uh, Gemini 3.2 should be coming out pretty soon. So I'm actually generally curious how well of a model that will be. And then you can see our type fusion versus solo and the benchmarks associated with it. I mean, Fable slash Mythos 5 was such a good model, and it's a bummer it's gone. I know it did cost quite a bit, but you can see there are alternatives if you want to achieve this specific DRACO score. Now, this is obviously just one benchmark, and there's a lot of different use cases for Fable 5 in itself. But you can read a little bit more over here. It says 7 of the 100 DRACO tests were not completed because Fable 5's content filters blocked them from executing, which again, we talked about this in the Fable 5 video itself. There's a lot of different filters out there for IT and some other things as well, which I won't bring up here on YouTube. And it says we chose not to fall back to Opus 4.8 for those tasks, so Fable results reflect 93 tasks rather than the full 100. I do enjoy that transparency. You can see the performance versus cost. This is another thing a lot of companies are going to care about. Let's just open this here in a big tab. So you can see the cost per task as well as the performance. And these are expensive. If you're using the quality, which going back over here, if you use this quality, you are going to be paying a lot of money. Fable 5 already is very expensive. So you're adding on additional costs when you want to throw on, hey, I want to throw an Opus or GPT-5.5 or Gemini. So you can see the price is significantly more expensive across the board. However, something like this, where we use Gemini 3 Flash, Kimi, as well as DeepSeek, this is cheaper. Although it uses 3 models on the side of things, and compared to Fable, it's cheaper and has very similar performance. Again, this is just one benchmark, but it's interesting. And you can see some of the other things across the board over there. One API call that fuses the best output of the multiple models. We're actually going to use this directly here in NAN just to show you how to set this up within an API request. But you have your analysis models. These are going to be your cheaper models. And then you're going to have your model over here, which you're going to have as your judge. So your more expensive model, I would recommend you put right over here, and then your cheaper models directly here inside. There's a little bit more information about this in this article. I'm not going to go through every single aspect of it. One thing I just want to read is Fusion a drop-in replacement for Fable? It says no. The benchmark shows that fusing multiple models together can reach and surpass Fable level performance on deep research tasks. We benchmarked one class of tasks, DRACO Deep Research, but the approach likely extends to many other workflows we haven't tested yet. We'd love to hear about other use cases where you find it works well. And yeah, so now I want to visually show you how this works in NAN. And then if you are a NAN user or want to learn a little bit more how to implement this in with your NAN workflows, I'll show you guys that also as a bonus. So imagine we have this as our initial prompt coming in. And what we do is we take this prompt and we actually send it to multiple agents with different models. So you can see we have this agent over here. This is using a Gemini model. We have this agent over here, which utilizes an OpenAI model. And then we have this agent over here, which uses an Anthropic model. Typically, you want to have models from different providers. That's going to probably give you the best results. And in the paper or in the article, these are called cheaper analysis models. So use a cheaper model over here to save some costs. And you're going to send the same prompt into these 3 different models. There's also, web research tools so they can do some research as well. But you'll have these 3 over here. And again, it can be expanded out over to 8. Now, just in NAN, we have to merge these results together. But if you're not using NAN, don't worry about that. We take the results from these 3 over here, and then we feed it to a judge agent. So what our judge agent essentially does is it takes a look at all the results from across over here, and it sees if there's any contradictions, see any blind spots, and see if everything kind of agrees with each other or not. And typically you want to have a judge agent have a better model than these cheaper models over here. And then finally, after the judge agent, what you have is a rewriter agent. So this will essentially rewrite those particular results. There's no web research on this one. However, this judge agent allows you to do that. And typically these are the same model across the board. I don't believe you can customize this now. And so my own personal use cases, I have used a cheaper model for the rewrite at the end just to save costs, because I'll typically use like an Opus for a judge agent, but at least how OpenRouter does it currently, these are going to be the same. And you can see over here, the final writer has web turned off on purpose. So this is a lot of work to set this up and really test it out. You're going to have to make sure that this prompt is set up correctly. Then you send it into these agents. And then you have to make sure that you have a proper judge agent prompt. And you have to have a bunch of other stuff kind of really added up. So OpenRouter makes this really simple. I mean, this is condenses down what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 things. And ideally, you can either have it in two different approaches. You could have it like this, where we're using a API request to OpenRouter, which I will show you here in a second, or you could technically go into an AI agent like this and just add in the OpenRouter chat model. And this is more focused towards NAN at this point, but I would highly recommend you just stick around because NAN is a pretty great software. So let's talk about this AI agent over here. All you have to do is attach in an OpenRouter chat model. So you assign the chat model over here and just look for OpenRouter. And what you have to do is just attach this on here and choose Fusion. So you can see I have OpenRouter and then there is Fusion. Now, there is one thing to note. When you choose Fusion directly here in NAN, and this just is specifically with the chat model attached to an AI agent, you cannot choose what models. So you can see it will choose the default models for Fusion. You cannot specify, hey, I want to use GPT-4o, or I want to use Sonnet 4.6, or whatever the case is for your 3 models in your judge. There's no option to do that particularly in here. So that's why I built this workflow over here, which uses an API request. And what you can see is if we go into OpenRouter directly over here, this is an HTTP request node. So you can just go in here and I do a post request. I've set up a bare auth account token, and this video isn't necessarily focused on this particular node. What I care to show you guys is this JSON directly over here. You can see that we defined our analysis models, which I showed you a little bit earlier. You can have Gemini Flash, DeepSeek, and then GPT Mini latest. And then you have your judge, which is your model over here. This is your judge as well as your rewriter. So all you do is just take this in. You have your plugins, you have your ID Fusion, and you specify these model names. And you can see I have our specific prompt, which is a little bit earlier. Now, my personal preference as I build in NAN workflows is just use AI agents like this. But if you really want to be granular and kind of choose the agents or the models that you want to use, you're going to have to go through this HTTP request node. So just look for HTTP requests like that and just fill this out. And to see all the models that are available, you can just go to openai.com/router, and I would just go to the text over here and you can find all these across the board. So whatever specific ones you would like, and you can just go over here and copy that particular name. Obviously I'm on Fable right now and that's kind of banned, which is really unfortunate, but you can see there is tons and tons of models. We have 337 different text models, and I'm sure by the time you watch this video, that is going to be changed as well. But yeah, so you can see 2 different ways that we could approach this in NAN. Well, really 3. If you don't want to use a Fusion model and kind of go the old school route and change things as it go, use this. Personally, I still might go this route, and there's a few reasons why. In my workflows, when I have different models earlier on that disagree, I tend to go to another branch. So like I'll have like some sort of if statement and go in another direction if something over here disagrees. I find that to be good for like prompt tuning, and also just like, hey, this could be a weird edge case. I need to kind of explore it a little bit more. In addition, I tend to use a cheaper rewriter rather than using the same expensive model twice, which you're going to be utilizing as well. So you can think like these type of things start adding up really, really fast. I also like specifically seeing the model performance across the board visually, like what is happening with Gemini, what is happening with my OpenAI model, what is happening over here with my Anthropic model. And yes, I do understand you could go over here and change things out relatively easily. I feel like the same is like that over here. So Fusion models in a nutshell, like this is an approach that's been used for quite a while, changing different models, having a judge agent, and then some sort of a rewriter. This has been around for months, if not years. The concept of just calling this into OpenRouter is relatively new. Tons and tons of hype over that. And you can see over here, as I mentioned, these analysis models, it's actually 1 to 8. I said 3 to 8. So apologies on that side of things. It's actually just 1 to 8 over here. I have a little bit more notes. And then if you guys want to use this workflow and kind of just mess around with it, feel free to grab it. It's free in our school group. Grab that. We also have calls every single Wednesday, and probably going to be talking about fusion models a little bit more. Because I really like using this approach over here, and I've used it in builds at my full-time job. But this really simplifies things down. So I think for a lot of people, if you don't want the complexities of this, there's some valid use cases across the board. That's it for this video. Make sure to subscribe if you're new, if you want to learn more about any and tons of videos here. Also on the channel, if you want to know more model news and AI news in general, we're uploading a lot of videos. So make sure to check those out, and thanks for watching.